So this morning we're beginning to set up a new series through Advent. This will see us through to the 1st of January. And the big picture is darkness to light. Darkness to light. It seems an appropriate one for Advent. And in part, some of this, the thinking towards this series comes out of a book by Steve Cottrell that's called Particular People, Walking Backwards to Christmas. And he picks up on some of the stories of people and thinks about them. So I've picked up on some of his approach to things and his thinking about these things. And so we're going to touch on Anna this morning, shepherd next week, a wise man the week after that. On the 18th of December, it's Nativity. It's our big Nativity. And we're working on that just now. So come, make sure you're there for the 18th of December for Nativity. On Christmas Eve, we've got Carols in the Garden. And that's going to be at 6 o'clock out in the garden, similar to last year. And on Sunday, 25th December, we're going to come to Jesus. Praise Jesus. And the 1st of January, going to touch on Exodus 3 and Moses and the burning bush. And all these stories are moving from darkness to light. And so the whole series, this Advent, is moving from darkness to light. And we start this morning with Anna, this prophetess Anna, daughter of Penuel of the tribe of Asher. And for Anna, this moving from darkness to light is a moving from what has been lost to what has been found again. That's her journey from darkness to light. And that journey for her is one that is a waiting, but a waiting that is looking and expecting and attending and persevering and committing. It is, as Richard Bauckham puts it, it is a waiting with desire. She waits with desire. And Luke 2, we're coming to the end of her story. So we know the ending that she has. She's lived not knowing the ending, but waiting. And we see here in Luke 2, when the light has come, not when she's carrying the darkness. And I find that deeply moving, that we are given the gift of this moment of seeing when she sees the light. But there is a darkness that Anna has come through to get to this point. And there are lessons for us in how she lives in this darkness. Anna has her own experience of darkness, but she's also carrying a hope through the people that she is a part of, a hope that echoes with us. And as I've reflected on Anna's story, I see her life just resonating with so many parts of our own lives around us at the moment. There is a gift to us this morning in Anna. I want to share that and explore that with you. Her own darkness is clear. She was married as a teenager, and within 7 years, her husband had died. So she's a widow. And at the point that we meet her, we come to her, she's been a widow for 84 years. This is an older lady. Probably slightly older than the lady I saw walking up Stewarton Road this morning. It's an older lady. And Stephen Cottrell puts these words in her mouth. She said, he pictures her saying this, in his death, her husband's death, I felt cheated of the life I'd expected. When you're alone, when you're empty, memories are little comfort. They sting like salt and freshly opened wounds, but I can't forget either. She carries her own personal experience of darkness and of loss. But she also carries the lostness of a people. This threefold description of her. She's a prophetess, Anna, daughter of Penuel of the tribe of Asher. It's like a profile on social media, a quick summary of who you are that points to other things. And if I think of my own life, as far back almost as I can go, I'm more or less central belt of Scotland. If you slice through me, I'm essentially central belt of Scotland, almost all parts of my family, apart from a few down in Sussex and a bit of England in there as well. But in principle, you slice me, I'm central belt right the way through. And that's a summary, that affects how I think about things and who I am. And Anna also has a life that's been marked through generations. She's her own personal life that's been set by loss, but she's also part of a people who've been characterized by loss. I love the words of Isaiah 9, especially at this time of the year. You'll probably get sick of hearing these words around this time of year, but Isaiah 9 is one of these classic texts, isn't it? It's beautiful to hear. Let me read it to you. Nevertheless, Isaiah says, there will be no more gloom for those who are in distress. In the past, he humbled the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, But in the future, he'll honor Galilee of the nations by the way of the sea beyond the Jordan. The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of deep darkness, a light has dawned. And Anna, daughter of Penuel, the tribe of Asher, is of the people of Israel to whom this word is spoken. Asher, the lands of Asher are in western Galilee. They're alongside Zebulun and Naphtali. In 733, the Assyrians come down, defeat the northern kingdom of Israel, and take many away across to the rivers to the cities of Media, east of the Euphrates. So these people of the tribe of Asher that Isaiah is speaking to in Isaiah 9, Anna's people, are those who are away from home. They are in distress. They are in exile. They are those who walk in the darkness of exile. She is part of a people who know themselves to be not at home, but always in exile, in this darkness. And the astonishing thing is, what is broken in that will be healed when this baby comes to Jerusalem. She recognizes that. Anna, in this moment of light, of dawning light as she meets Jesus, carries her own darkness, carries her own loss, carries the darkness of exile and the loss across her family and people. And here in this beautiful moment that comes in the temple in Jerusalem just after Jesus is born, here the light dawns that Isaiah spoke of in her life and the life of her people in exile. It's wonderful, isn't it? It's a beautiful moment. The words of Isaiah, just a few lines on in chapter 9, these must have been resounding in our heart, where he says, "For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders. He'll be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, and Prince of Peace." And here in the temple, Anna sees this. She sees the Prince of Peace brought in to her life. In the temple, Simeon's words that we read earlier are wonderful. They expand out the way that Jesus will be a light to the nations, to those beyond Jerusalem. The glory of God will shine beyond Jerusalem. Many will see it, and it is glorious and it's wonderful, expansive. But it's spoken from the perspective of Jerusalem, from those who are at the center of faith. The words of Anna are those on the edges who are carrying the darkness. And it is more wonderful, I think. She sees Jesus in the saving of Jerusalem. You know, when something you love has been broken and you just want it back, Anna sees in the birth of Jesus that being brought back, that healing. The darkness of exile, the separations of the people of God, the broken love. She sees in this child that the people of God will be gathered and healed and restored. Jerusalem will be healed. All that darkness is brought to light in this child that comes to the temple. And Anna, the daughter of Penuel of the tribe of Asher, who's lived 84 years in this exile and darkness that began in Galilee, it comes to an end here with this child. Stephen Cottrell, again, writes beautifully of this healing of Anna in an image of waiting for the sunlight in the early morning. And I want to read this to you because I find this lovely. So if I find it lovely, I want to share it with you as well and hope you find it a really lovely thing. So he pictures her in the temple coming in every day and what that felt like coming in the early morning as she waits for the light to catch her. She says, "I do the same each day. I find the exact place in the temple where the first rays of the rising sun will flood its dark interior. And I wait there. The sun makes its progress around the globe. I know there's a particular moment when a single beam of bright morning sunlight comes in through the window and crafts a wee passage of light down the center of the temple's spaciousness. And I love that moment. I wait for that moment each day. Stand in that spot each day where I know the sun will catch me and flood me and fill me. And as it rises, its beam grows stronger. They travel to the length of the temple to search out everything. And sometimes I stand right at the back of the temple and watch the light come towards me, inexorably. And I wait for its glorious expectation to strike. I stretch out my hands, though I know you can't hold sunlight, but you can feel it. I close my eyes and wait simply to touch its presence, which isn't me touching at all, but me being touched, held in warmth and light. Is that a wonderful picture of Anna in this temple? On Thursday mornings at Renew Wellbeing, we sit around there in prayer. It's a big circle. It's a big circle of prayer. But the sunlight comes in through that window, so I can picture this. On Thursday mornings, a similar sort of thing. We know what this feels like. And this is preparation for the moment when Jesus is in the temple here in Luke 2. In Anna, we are given a gift of seeing the moment when darkness is turned to light as she sees Jesus. That's difficult to say. As she sees Jesus a few days after his birth. But why is she here? What prepares her for this moment of light out of the darkness? There are, I think, two things to learn from this. One is, she knows what hope in the darkness looks like. When Jesus comes, she recognizes the moment. And then secondly, she puts herself in the place where hope can happen. First then, she recognizes the moment. Anna, the daughter of Penuel, of the tribe of Asher. I sometimes wish I could describe myself in these sort of terms. That's a good way to describe yourself, isn't it? The whole name describes the hope of the exiles in Galilee. Her father's name is Penuel, means face of God. You remember back in Genesis 32, when Jacob is coming back out of exile, coming back to take on the land, and he wrestles with God before he gets there. And he wrestles with God, saying, I'm not going to let you go until you bless me. And that place, he names it after as Penuel, the name of Anna's father. The place where Jacob sees God's face turned towards him. It names and describes the point where the blessing and grace of God lies. When God's face is towards you, that moment when God's face is towards you. And Anna's father carries this name that speaks of God's blessing when his face is turned towards you. Anna is recognizing this baby in Jesus, that God's face is at last turned towards them. The descriptions of the exiles of the people of Galilee and the northern tribes, they describe this in terms of God's face towards them. Deuteronomy 31 speaks of that feeling of going into exile where they feel that God is hiding her face from them. And Psalm 80 sings the cry of these exiles again and again. It says, restore us, O God, that your face will shine on us, that we may be saved. Again and again, turn your face towards us, Lord. Turn your face towards us. Turn your face towards us. And in Isaiah, a prophet that speaks so deeply to the exiles of the northern kingdom, again, he points to that moment when they were going into exile as a moment when it felt like God was hiding his face from us. But Isaiah responds in Isaiah 54, he says, with everlasting kindness I will have compassion on you. I will turn my face towards you. And that blessing of Aaron that is given, that speaks across the whole people of God, where Aaron is asked to say, to bless the people, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. That is what hope in the darkness looks like. To have these words spoken over you. And to know that you are restored and healed and forgiven, held in everlasting kindness where the Lord's face is continually towards you. Anna recognizes in this moment as she sees Jesus that here in this child, God's face is towards us at last. And Anna, whose name means grace, comes from the darkness of exile, the darkness of loss, the darkness of Isaiah 9. She comes looking for the face of God. In this blessing of Aaron to find the healing of those in darkness, those who are lost. She knows what hope in the darkness looks like. It's when God's face is towards you, and she recognizes that moment as the baby comes into the temple. That prayer of blessing of Aaron, it's amongst the most beautiful words, isn't it, to have spoken over you? To speak to yourself. When we're in darkness, or alone, or lost, or in exile, or wandering, I pray this for you, that the Lord will bless you and keep you. The Lord's face will shine towards you. Isn't that wonderful to have that prayed and spoken towards you? This is the prayer of these exiles from Galilee across the Euphrates, across all these generations. And now it's the hope that's carried by Anna, the daughter of Penuel of the tribe of Asher, in her own losses, in her own darkness, in her own exile. This is her hope, that she will see the face of God. And then the baby comes in, and she sees the face of God. She has put herself in the place where hope can happen. She waits with desire. She recognizes the moment. Stephen Cottrell again puts this beautifully. He writes very poetically. It's wonderful stuff. But he puts it beautifully, places us in the life of Anna. This is how he pictures her around this moment. She says, "In this light each day, I've waited for another light. I've dwelt in the pitch darkness of the temple's night and dreamed of unimaginably beautiful lights. And over the years, I've become someone who watches and prays. I kept a lonely vigil on behalf of a people who had forgotten what they were waiting for." It's a wonderful depiction of Anna, this woman who's come to the light that she can see, to wait on the greater light that she hopes for, and then stays in that place, enduring patience and saying, "Today I'm here waiting. Today I'm here waiting. Today I'm here waiting." She is in the place where hope comes to. And she's waiting for the gift, looking, expecting, enduring. It's the most beautiful call to us. Where we feel the darkness that lies around us, the darkness that we walk through at times, the loss, the sense of exile, the pain of absences, here in Anna, we hear a call to come to the light that you have and wait there. Wait there. Seek the face of God and keep in the place where hope can come to you. In the words of Isaiah, that Isaiah gives us to speak of the birth of Jesus, stay in the place where the light will dawn. And I pray that when we are in our own darkness, that we will see in Anna a model of what to do. Know that the hope that is promised, you will recognize it. Come to the light that you have. Wait with desire. Wait with expectation. Wait with eyes open. Wait with patience. Call on the Lord. And may we together see the light in our own darkness. May we see the face of God shining on us. It's my prayer for each one of you, for myself. We see the light of God shining on us, his face turned towards us in Christ. Because Jesus is here. When Jesus is here, his face is turned towards you. May we know that. May you recognize it. May you see him and rejoice. Let's pray.